Right, so first things first, let's take this off the top, because we're going to need to be able to get into it. So let's take these caps off the end of the rack. And I'll tell you what I've forgotten. I have forgotten to turn the light on. You're going to turn on? Hey, there we go. Let's dim that down a little bit. Drop it down a bit. Tell I've done this before. Should be okay. Everyone see that? Ta-da! Anyway, enough faffing around. Right, take the caps off the top of the rack. I'm just going to take the old lid off the shelf. So that gives me access. That gives me a bit of access to the top to be able to do what I need. What I'm going to do actually, which will give me some light inside, is actually rig the light up, and yeah, you'll be able to see much more. And voila, we have a bit of light. So now, not only can you see what I'm doing, I can now see what I'm doing. So at the minute I've just got things hung on, so I've got the lights just sat there, the filter at the back. So what I'm going to do is just going to push that back a little bit so I can actually attempt to get it out of the way, because we don't need that sitting on the back yet, because we've got to get a background on there first. Right, so first things first, I need to get the backing on, which all came as part of this kit. So the Superfish Scape Cube comes with it all. I'm not sponsored by Superfish, so I just wanted to let you know that they are a really good quality tank. Everything so far that I've seen and heard about, you just can't go wrong. They're absolutely brilliant. You can have either white or black. I'm going to go with a black background. Get that on there. So I'll get some tape. Just tape it on. So I'll grab some tape and I'm back with tape. As time goes on, hopefully I will be fully prepared. I'll be fully prepared and won't have to keep pausing the video. I can just keep it rolling. It's all part of the fun and the learning curve. So let's just empty all that out. All I'm going to do, sling around, get it roughly in place. It's a lot easier without the racking. Doing it on an open bench, but as I say, it's this is all done in my bedroom, so I haven't exactly got a lot of space to work with. But that's not going to stop me having fun. And that's the whole point of this. Just have fun, enjoy doing something new. So, any beginners out there, just give it a go. I mean, if I can do it, anyone can, surely. So yeah, we'll get that on there. Just makes things easier a bit. At the minute there's nothing in there, so what's stopping me turning it? So you don't have to be worried too much about the back of it. Like, you can just see slightly under there, don't matter, because I'll be banking the substrate up to the back, so it'll be higher at the back, so it'll probably end up sitting around here anyway. So you're not going to see any of that, which is absolutely fine. What we'll have to do is give this a bit of a clean. Maybe should have done that before I stuck that on. Let me go and get the cleaning equipment. Right, so I've got some cleaning equipment. I'll just do this on the outside because this is an antibacterial. I'm not sure if it's good enough for going inside the tank. I don't want to be wiping it down in there. So yeah, now that's wiped down, what I want to do is just have a bit of a play around with the rocks and the spider wood, just to give myself I've got a bit of an idea, but it's nice to just get it in the tank and make sure it actually fits. What I might do, I've got a bit of filter floss. Don't really have to do it, but just while I'm doing it and positioning, just put it in there. Gives it a bit of padding just so you're not scratching all the bottom of it. So what I've got are these. So I actually went to the store, mainly the aquatics, and got these, laid them out actually on the shop floor, and just to try and get an idea on how I want them. So I don't want to make it central, but I quite like the sizing of them. They're quite a large rock because I'm not going to be having much in here. So just literally have a little bit of a play around, so you don't have to take too much time doing it. It's actually trying to remember which way it looked really cool earlier. I think I've got those the wrong way around. Let's put that there. And this is what I said about putting the filter floss in, just in case. I mean, it ain't going to stop it if you drop it. It will give it a bit of cushioning. I might have to pop that up a little bit, that one, just to change the angle of it. Right, so now I've got them roughly where I want them to be. I'll pull the rocks back out. Just get them out of there. Right, so what I'm going to use first, I've got some active substrate that I've started to use in the other tank. So I'm going to put that in. Get that in first. We're going to do the active substrate at the back. Just put that in. I'm going to be mounting it up higher at the back. That's that in there. So what I'm going to do is just spread this out. Spread this out a little bit. So I've got more to go on. I just want to use what I've got here. Let's get that in. Get all this back from the foreground. Make a bit of an island. There we go. I am going to be using root tabs on this, so help it. And then with the scraper, I'm just going to go in there and just move it away from the foreground. Just bring it back. Actually curved my scraper just so I could actually get it in the other tank, because the ceilings are at an angle and where it sits couldn't quite get it in. Right, the sand will all sit at the foreground. Now I've got API root tabs, quite a few of them. So I'm going to have a go and see if I can sort of just crush it up. And I'm going to scatter it all over. Crushes up all right. And the root's the best chance to get going on the plants. So next up, I've got some more aquarium substrate. It's like a black sand. Not a great deal left, but I'm going to use it to start making a bit of a cap on there, because the capping I've got is quite coarse, so this will just help keep all the goodness all locked down. So yeah, get that in. I'm going to start at the foreground, stop all the other bits coming forward. Just mix it in. To be honest, I've just realised I don't really need this on here because this ain't going to be my final layer, so I can push that up to try and lock a little bit of that down. Because I've actually run out of this. So what I might do is literally bring it right back over. So it doesn't matter, just mix it in a little bit. So as long as the majority of it's got a bit of a cap on it, so it don't matter too much. There we go. Right, so that's that bit done. Time for this. So we're going to get some of that in. So yeah, what I'm going to do, I'll put it in a jug here. I need to get another jug and drill some holes in and just go and give it a bit of a rinse. There we go, all rinsed off, so we can get that in. So we'll start again at the foreground. A bit of water in there. Alright. Just get that scattered all over. Like that. See what we're left with. So I'm going to keep it quite low down at the front, just make it look neat. Push all that back up there. And the bit of the sand underneath is just going to help those, help the plants, just to give it a bit of grip. Just stop it all coming back up. Another jug full. Get that in there. More at the back now. Try and concentrate more at the back, just to raise that back section up. There we go. So yeah, again, just literally just build it up at the back. Should look really cool. There we go. And that's that. So what I'll do, I'll just unhook you from the holder, if it'll let me. There we go. So it goes in there. So it's all sloped up at the back, which will work quite well. And let's get you back in the holder. There we go, all back in the holder. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to get those rocks in there and see if we can get that all locked down. Let's get them. I'm going to use this piece. I'm going to go with this. Just get that one. Get that positioned in there. Push it into the substrate there. I want to leave enough room for planting at the back. Like that. I've got this other one, which I want to put, it forward, move that one back maybe, bring that one forward a little bit. Yeah, like that I think. And then we've got another smaller piece. I mean, some people might say this is a bit too big for this tank. but I like the idea of it being big in the tank. So created like a little channel down there because of what I've got next to go on there, which is 2 pieces. I've got some black spiderwood which I'm actually going to stick. Let's take these tags off, and then I'm going to get them in the tank, get them in position, and then stick them down. So just get that off. I'm trying to keep it like this because I actually positioned it earlier just to double check it would actually fit in the tank, and it actually looked quite cool. Now I've just got to remember how I got it in the tank past the light and everything else. So that piece went down. Right, so it's roughly there. What I'm going to do is just move that over there a bit. That needs to come down. That needs to go back. Get that in there. Get that coming down into the substrate like that. Let's have a look. I don't want to spend too much time faffing around with it, but let me just unhook again on the... Actually no, I'll just leave it on the stand to be easier. What do you think of that? I think that works quite well. Obviously the light will be this side of the top. I could always chop that off, but there, I think that would be pretty cool. Should work quite well. So I have got some, obviously where it's high up here, I have got some more smaller stones. I mean, that I could actually move a little bit, angle it down. Or do I want it over the top? That's the thing. It could be any way you like. There we go. That's just dropped into place. That's dropped in nicely. I think I have it like that. The only thing I may do at a later date is cut just the end off, just so it's off the glass, because it's all held up by that. So now all I've got to do is get my Superfish super glue and find where everything meets and just get a dab of glue on everything. I'm pretty happy with the way that's turned out. So yeah, let's take that off. Get a little dab of glue just on the contact points. Just get some on there. A little bit on the rock. Try not to knock it as you're doing it. Find where your other contact points are. A little bit there. It's like a gel glue, so it's not all watery. It's just to help lock down the wood, because it will float. This is brand new out of the showroom, so it's gonna float. A little bit just in there. Not too worried if you can see some of the glue, because I'm going to get some Anubius's put on there. But I'm actually quite happy with that. It's looking alright. Here we go. Don't need to go too mad. But you definitely don't want it all to all of a sudden just float up and off and away. Right, so I've got some, they're called pot toppers there. So they're actually in a normal garden centre a bit, but they're very, very dusty. And I've had to rinse a load off because I don't want that going in my tank. So what I've done, I've got a couple of larger ones, slightly larger ones, a little bit of a selection. So I'm just going to sort of prop just not too uniform. Just get it in just so just breaks it all up a little bit. So the glue's already going off quite nice. I have more of a chance if I don't touch it. Just throw a couple in. Just breaks up the substrate there. So don't want it too uniform. Yeah, I think that's enough on that size. So rinsed off a couple of smaller ones, so I can just literally give it a little bit of a dusting around. If I can get it in there, just drop them in. Hopefully don't smash the tank. One more. I think it needs one down just there. That'll do. So it's nothing too fancy. There we go. I've actually done a lot more than what I needed. I'm quite happy with that. Just am I happy with it? Yeah, I think I am. It's just this one here. I think that needs to be turned that way. That bit uniform. That. No, stop touching it. Stop touching it. There we go. I mean, everything else is all stuck together, but it hasn't stuck to the rock yet. But that's that. That is it. Right, and there we go. So you have to hold up. There we go. I'm quite happy with that, to be fair. Once all this is planted and grown in, the fish have nice little hiding space. I haven't done much of like a beach front because I don't feel it's big enough to warrant that. So I just want a nice piece right in the middle as a bit of a statement. It will have, let's say, I might get some Java ferns, might get some Anubises. I say might, it's going to happen. Probably get in the back like some Vitala HRAs. Let's get some red popping in there. Yeah, I think it's going to be a nice, clean, simple looking tank. Right, there we go. We've swapped you back around because I've had enough of leaning around the back of this. So we'll stick with this view. So that's why it's probably swapped around. So, first things first. We need to get some plants in here. I've got just a little bit more slate I've decided to add down in this bottom corner. So now's the time to do any little touch-ups that you want to do. Let's get that on there. Just catch that around. Fills it up a little bit more. And I'll put that light right in the way, just to make it easy for me. Saw a couple of them quite low patches, so I just want to get some of this on. Put that one on the floor. There we go. That will do. So, right, what I've got. I think it's like some Vitalas and some Monte Carlos. Now, I wasn't going to do any carpet and plants, but I'm curious to see how they do in this. Obviously I've got the aqua soil underneath, obviously pushed back quite a bit, and root tabs. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I couldn't actually get any hold of any like Anubis right now. I have actually got some in the other tank growing, so I might even use some of that. Now, I am not going to be at all great with the names of plants. However, if there's a label on it, I might have a better chance. If I can get this out, so I know that's Monte Carlo. Yeah, I've got some nice Monte Carlo. And this is Aqua Dip. Don't know. Thought I'd give it a go. And then we've got some of these. I forgot what you said they were. I think it's like a Java fern, long leaf. So I've got some of them. 2 of them. So yeah, but we'll get the Monte Carlo in first. So I'll just pop those in the bucket. A bucket of plants down here. Metalas. Got some. Let's show you. Got some red ivy in there as well, and I'm pretty sure they're Rotala HR stem plants. It should be going in at the back. Right, so all set up with the Monte Carlo. Let's get these out of the rock wall. Get them out of the pots. Open up the rock wall. I'm going to divide it into 2, I think. Just give them a little roll in your fingers. Just to make life easier to plant. Just get any rock wall off. Around the base of it. So, happy days. Now, all I'm going to do with that is just give it a quick rinse. Just give it a rinse and then it'll be good to plant. Happy days. So, let's get some of this Monte Carlo in it. I think a little bit just in the foreground there. It's going to be a bit difficult to get through these rocks. However, they'll act as a nice weight. So just literally just put a couple just on there, sort of hide it in there. Won't take long for it to push around that. There we go, there's one piece in. So let's get the next one. I gave all these plants a bit of a wash, a bit of a rinse down, just in case. And I think, where shall we go with this? Just get another one, just there. Pull it out at the same time. Just get that in there. Something like that big rock. Couple of small little stones just to help lodge that in. Yeah, it should be right. Soon find out when you go put water in and it all floats to the surface. This is the only trouble with using substrate that's very coarse. Obviously I have got some sand capped in there. Could have done with a little bit more, but I've run out. So I'm not going to worry. I probably will start worrying once everything starts floating. So let's get another one. Another Monte Carlo. So I'm thinking this is going to bunch up. Let's try not to wreck it on all the branches going in. So building stuff on racks is a lot more difficult. So limited to your movement. So let's use that rock. couple of those rocks. I think right in that gap, right between all those branches. I think just try and get you in that substrate. So then hopefully this will spread eventually throughout the bottom there. So that's that one. Just make sure when you're doing it, just get a little spray bottle, turn it on, just give it all a little bit of a spray, stop that from drying out. Right, so next up I've got these red ivy plants. Can't pronounce the other name, so I'm not going to bother trying. Alright, so these have actually got weights on, which is quite handy, so I need that. I want to try and get this down into the substrate somehow. It'll be fun. I think it's going to give it a nice proper colour. So where shall we go with you? Thinking we'll get that. Get him down in there. I think that's it. If that leaf can get under there without tearing, breaking off, that would be nice. Now these are like medium to low lighting, so should be quite happy enough there. Right, and where to put you? I'm thinking I'll get you down in there. Cool. It's looking alright so far. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get some water in this. Right, so all I'm going to do, I'm going to throw a glass in somewhere that will fit. I'll just use anything just to break the water going onto it. So all I've got is a measuring jug, so I'm just going to pour slowly, get that water in there, see what will float and see what will not. Fingers crossed. We're good. Longleaf Java ferns. Get those prepped and ready to go in. So that's one of them prepped. Taking all the rock wool off. Just give it a rinse. I am going to get this out because I'm thinking, because I'm just going to bulk plant these. I'm not going to split them. As I say, it's only a small tank. So what I want to try and do, I want to try and get him wedged one like that. No, what I'm thinking actually, what I might do with this one, wedge it a bit further back. So the idea is that that will come forward. I can trim it back. So I don't want to put too many of these on the front foreground, so I'm going to use this as basically a big plant pot. Essentially what I've just created. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. That works alright. So what we'll do, I will unhook you for a second. So you can actually see it's starting to come together. So obviously I haven't got this one down in the substrate. I'll push that down. Got a load of stem plants to go along the back there. So yeah, get in there. Well, I'm actually thinking of having a bit of a rearrange here. So on the back, I'll put this one. I'm going to lay that over here for a sec because I want to get this. So let's move that light this side like that. I want to get that one tucked right in there. Get that on there, and then yeah, I'm happy with that. And what I'll do with this one, this ivy, I'm going to stick that clean through the middle. I'll go clean down the middle with that, down to the substrate through. Actually, I might just see if it'll feed just out of the change the way it grows. I don't like that you can actually see the weight on that. However, don't think that'll matter too much once this is all grown in. Get that over there. A purple leaf, that should be downwards. Right, I think that'll be time for the long stem plants. So what we'll do, shift this light back over here, back and forth, keep that there. I say I'm pretty certain, I mean please correct me if I'm wrong, pretty sure that these are Vitala HRs. Pretty sure. Say I could be mistaken. So as I say, please correct me if I'm wrong. And all I'm going to do is just lay them, bunch them all together. So they've got weights on. So I'll just leave them in the weights to get established a bit. Bunch them together. Drop them in. So this is why you fill the water up fully. When it comes to stem plants, but we should be good. Get some water in. Yeah, I suppose we will get yet another one. Get that in there. I promise you that this is getting to the end nearly. But there's another. It's the punishment for being lazy and not using the right stuff. However, if you ain't got the right stuff, then this is how you would do it. I think I'm happy with that water level. So I have a certain style of fish. I wonder what it could be that I want to actually put in here eventually. Yeah, we will see. Right, well, so that's it. That will do for now until I can go and get some more plants. I mean, it's quite planted already, but that's what we got. So that should all spread quite nicely. I brought the light forward to try and favour some of the light here. The retiler is quite high. Well, as I say, I'm guessing it's a retiler. I've got a bit of a void here, so as you can see, they're actually going out of the top there. So I could probably give them a trim down, give them a bit of a replant in there, and also I've got room for some other plants. So I might do some mosses. Yeah, we'll see what happens. So all that's left is to hang that filter on. But I'm not looking at putting the fish in, so I'm going to leave it off. I'm going to just literally treat this. I'm going to put some tap water safe in and some micro lift. So quite good. So yeah. So yeah, let's just give it a good old squirt, the old fertilizer, extra little bit, just because it's quite a bit of plantage. I will put a little pump in. I just don't see the point in running the big old filter. I've got just a small pump, just to give a bit of movement of water, just stop that going from stagnant, which I will dig out. There we go, like a donut. I forgot to hit record actually putting that in. It's only as a temporary jobby, just until I actually put the thing on the filter. So I don't really want to run the filter just yet, because I've got a few more bits and pieces to do. Although we could get the beneficial bacteria started in the filter, I guess. Maybe that's what I do. Right, so I've got this. It's a hang on filter 50 by Superfish. Right here. I'll put the bits and pieces out earlier. It's got these. So all you have to do is get all your pieces. Lid off, get that piece down in there, get that locked in like so. Then decide what's going where. I believe, obviously, I don't want it sticking out like that, so that needs to go that way, like that. That was like that, I believe, because then that went up What have I done? Maybe I should just use the instructions. Right, now I've actually looked at the instructions. Let's put all this the right way. Okay, it's like that. That you can twist out away from the throat. Like that. I'm not actually sure what that does because that's on the outside of the tank. So, okay, that'll be a spacing. That's a spacer, I believe. So you can set it to keep it away from the glass, like to keep it up straight. That'd be why my last one was wonky because I didn't check the instructions. Oh well, live and learn. Well, supposedly. So yeah, get that on there. That basis sits on there, like that. Surface skimmer. And then what have we got? We've got different depth pieces. That even go in there? No, that needs to go on first. Quite a long old bit of kit. Oh, hang on, I've got two. Oh, right, okay, that's the extender, which I don't think I'm going to need the extender. I can go straight on there. So what stops that coming off? Oh, because it goes to the surface. That's the whole point of it. That makes sense. It's looking really good. Really like it. Yeah, looking good. Looking good. Right. One thing I forgot to mention, make sure you add a bit of tap safe into this. Just to get any of those chloramines out. Okay, so I've just swapped to come off the stand. So I'm going to just gives it a bit more motion, a bit more freedom to move it around. Give you guys the views. I really don't like seeing that. Like that. I mean, that is just a stone, but it's not great. But it will do. It will do. So yes, here we are. So we're going to get that on one-handed. Somehow. This is going to be fun. So now all that's on. I didn't consider all the pipe work when I was positioning this. Hang on, I'm going to have to put the phone down. Alright, there we go. She in. She in. So, obviously, all the plants will grow up around it. Yeah, I think that's going to look fine. Obviously, I've got this space which will end up having plants in. Or not. I could end up just keeping that as just a bit of a viewing area to the back, because they're going to have plenty to hide in, all in there. So it'd just be nice to be able to just check, make sure everything's okay. So yeah, before we start this, we need to prime it. Alright, so I've got a jug of water and just prime. I've really not thought this through. Really not thought this through at all. I say just prime. What could possibly go wrong? Oh, everything can go wrong. I need to sort out this. Right, there we go. In the water in. Yeah, prime so the impellers underwater, so they don't run dry. They're designed to be run with water. There we go. What we're going to do, because that's not actually reaching to the water yet, so it should be alright. Let's give that a top up. filling that pipe up, help prime it. So it's almost there, it's just in the water, it's almost there. Using that as a water break. That should do. It should be more than enough gap for my certain fish. But no one has a clue what fish I want. Or do they? Right, so that's it. So there we go. It's pretty much getting there. So over the next couple of weeks, I will get some more plants. Yeah, I'll get some more plants in there. I've got a few floating plants that I want to dot around in here, out of my other tank, and yeah, hopefully we'll have this all ready to be able to put the fish in. Alright, don't forget, like, subscribe, hit the bell button. Content can only get better, and yeah, have a great day, evening, wherever you are in the world. Cheers.